What's up, traders? Anthony Crudele here, and welcome to this week's episode of Develop Your Edge. Today, I'm going to go over what I believe are some intangibles when it comes to developing your edge. But before we get into that, let me take you to this week's Ninja Trader Charting Edge. Now, last week I pulled up a chart of the dollar and talked about just raw price action as an edge. This past week, I've been tweeting a lot about gold and how I've been looking at the 30-year bond futures for an edge trading gold. Raw price action, once again, no indicators. Now, I'm pretty active lately trading the gold market, and the 30-year has been a market I've been keeping up, no indicators on it, similar to the dollar, for the raw price action of it, to be able to tell me if gold is being led lower or higher, because the bond market really lately has been leading a lot of the moves in gold. If you look at the two charts up here, gold up top, bonds on the bottom, you could see how similar they look. And I've been using my gold strategy for trades, mostly to the long side, not successfully as of late. But when the bond market is making a lower low and I get a long setup in gold, I'm not taking it. When the bond market is holding its recent low and starting to uptick and I get a setup in gold, I'm taking it. I've still been losing in gold because it's been trending lower, and I've still been taking long signals that I've been getting. Macro reasons why I've been trying to buy gold on the dips, using my technicals as a guide. But I have minimalized the amount of losses I've had just by keeping up a raw price action chart of the bonds. To me, it's not always about finding ways to make more money. I mean, that's obviously the goal, right? We want to make more money. But sometimes we make more money by losing less. By putting in a confirmation like the bonds, it has minimalized the amount of losses that I've taken because I've been a little bit more particular about what trades I've been taking in gold. Once again, still losing, but losing less. I see the bonds taking out a low and I'm long gold. I might be getting out before my stop. Managing my risk better just by looking at raw price action. You don't need to have, as I said last week, an indicator to have an edge. Sometimes a market leader can be an edge, like the way I'm using bond and gold futures. And that's this week's Ninja Charting Edge. Now, I want to pull up a couple of tweets that I put out over the last 48 hours. First tweet I put out, today was, I was a bit eager to get in the market for some reason, and the market was eager to take from me. Took my full daily risk loss, and sometimes we have to get our teeth kicked in a little bit to recognize the environment that we're in. I talked about this on the intro today, where I talked about how the intangibles when it comes to developing your edge. For me, sometimes I have to lose my full loss on a day where I start to recognize really what's happening in the market. I think that we really recognize what's happening the most when we actually lose. Somebody could tell us what type of an environment we're in, but until I actually lose my full risk amount, or maybe not my full risk amount, but if I lose on a day, you start to really sharpen up quickly and say, you know what? I'm recognizing what's happening. I was too eager to get in. So let me share with you a little bit about my trading week, because I think this is important. Trading gold, trading a little bit of Apple this week, trading some NASDAQ. And what was interesting was all of them are long. I mostly trade all of them to the long side. I do trade them from the short side as well, but lately I've been trading almost all of them exclusively on the long side. And I'm going against the trend in gold, going against the trend a little bit in NASDAQ and Apple. They've all come down quite a bit. So intraday, the trends, or at least the medium term to short term trends, are down. So I was quick to get in my long setups and getting into full positions rather quickly. And then when they were going my way, I wasn't as quick to get out. And something I've learned is when you're going against a trend and you're in a full position, you need to be clicking out pretty quickly. At least I'm a scaler, so I scale in and out. Why am I waiting for full targets? So I actually had a lot of money that I left on the table just by not getting out quick enough. I was looking for full targets because let's face it, over the past several months, trading these markets from the long side, it's been pretty fruitful. It's getting your full targets a lot of the time. And when the trend changes, going back to recognizing the environment, I knew it, but I still fought it a little bit. I was eager to get in, going my way, not eager to get out, and just clipping them out for losers. Death by 1,000 cuts, and eventually got my full daily risk limit hit. And to me, when I was done with that day, sure, it's frustrating. Nobody wants to lose money. I'll admit it, I was a little pissed off at myself, at what I had done. First full risk day that I had hit in actually quite a while. And it really helped me this morning. Today I actually came in as we record here on Friday, had an okay morning, made a little bit of money, wasn't super eager, waited for my first setup, took it long, got out. Trend continued to go lower, but I made money on it. I waited for my spots. And just goes back to the intangibles, right? Self-awareness. At the time, I wasn't making the correction. After I finally hit my risk limit, I am now smarter going forward. I am more in tune with the environment. And it took for me to really have a full risk loss, to really just wrap my head around it, stubborn sometimes, and say, you know what, this is the environment we're in. If you're going to keep trading this way, be smarter about it. If you're eager to get in, going against the trend, be just as eager to get out. So that's this one tweet that I shared with you guys on Twitter. I want to move to the next tweet. And this morning I put out, before I started to trade, I was just sitting there thinking about my day. In trading, a storm is always ahead. Stay anchored to yourself so you can handle that storm. This goes back to what happened to me yesterday. Like I said, I was frustrated. I was not happy with myself and the way I performed. And I come in and I said to myself, keep doing what you're doing, but recognize the environment. I came in today and I fixed the mistakes in the moment. That's what we have to do as traders. These are the intangibles. All of us are going to make mistakes. I've made every mistake in the book. And I felt that I took the right setups, but I didn't execute great on those setups. I wasn't adapting to the new environment that we were in. And who knows how long it's for. It could be a day, a week, a month, doesn't matter. I didn't adapt well. And when I came in this morning and I sat down at my screens, I took a deep breath and said, you know what? I made it through that storm. I'm going to stay true to who I am. I'm going to stay anchored to myself and my strategy. I'm just going to correct what I didn't do the prior day, today, right now, in the moment. And to me, I look back at my career, and that intangible, to me, is an edge. Because I've said many times, my edge in trading is execution, my execution. I know my strategy better than anybody else because it's my strategy. So in the moments, I better make those right decisions. Sometimes I'm not going to, but I learned from hitting my full risk loss that I better be smarter in my execution, adapt to the current environment. And over the years, when I've done that, I've been able to turn things around quicker. Most of us will make mistakes. All of us will make mistakes. But to me, an edge is fixing them quicker the next day in the moment. So intangibles are a big part of developing your edge. Hang tight while I'll be right back with my final thoughts.
24/7 access to diverse global markets. Right here.
That's why I added stock index futures to my trading strategy. Now when I see ups and downs coming, I'm ready.
Well played.
Final thoughts for today, traders. Remember, you don't always have to put your finger on something to say it's an edge. Many times it's the intangibles like I talked about today. Self-awareness, understanding the environment. Those things are extremely important to me in my development of my edge. Before I let you go this week, I want to remind you guys that CME Group has micro gold futures. You heard me talk a lot today about gold futures. If you go to activetrader.cmegroup.com, you can learn more about micro gold futures. The symbol's MGC, and they're 1/10 the size of the gold futures product. Remember, if you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. If you're enjoying the show, click that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, you can DM me on Twitter. My DMs are open at Anthony Crudele. You could also check out Instagram, Anthony C. Crudele. That's a wrap for today. See you next week.